Hello, my name is Wesley Peterson, and the problem our group is addressing is the pollution into the Chesapeake Bay caused by the Delmarva chicken industry. The multi-billion-dollar poultry industry is one of the largest businesses on the Delmarva Peninsula. It contains over 6,000 chicken houses. Each one of these chicken houses can contain up to 25,000 birds. The chickens from these farms create as much as 800,000 tons of waste a year. The runoff from the chicken waste is one of the largest pollutants to the bay. To get a better understanding of the problem, here's a clip from the PBS documentary entitled Poisoned Waters.
Poultry farming, like most animal farming, has become much more intense, much more concentrated. Where you had 50,000 chickens on a given plot of ground, you've got 500,000 or 2 million now, which produces a huge problem of what to do with the manure.
In 2008, Delmarva Peninsula poultry farms raised more than 570 million chickens, and all those chickens produced massive mountains of manure, 1.5 billion pounds a year. That's more manure than the annual human waste from 4 big cities, New York, Washington, San Francisco, and Atlanta, all put together. Before mass production chicken farms, local crop farmers used to absorb the chicken manure. Now there's way too much for them to absorb.
Agriculture is by far the largest source of pollution to the Chesapeake Bay, and it is arguably the single biggest source of pollution to all of the waters in the country.
So the problem isn't just manure, but it's too much manure.
It's too much manure and arguably too many animals under the current structure. Now, there's
You mean too many animals in one place?
Exactly.
It's a problem all over the country. Hog farms in the Carolinas and Iowa, poultry farms in Arkansas and Texas, cattle farms in Wisconsin and along the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania.
In terms of just damage to the ecosystems, the destruction of entire ecosystems, of aquatic communities, of fish going extinct, there's nothing as bad as these factory farm operations, nothing.
So to save the bay, the EPA says it's essential to get control over the animal manure. What's made that hard is deciding just who's responsible for all that manure.
Poisoned Waters. Watch online or on air beginning April 21st.
Our solution to the problem will be to ship chicken waste to the Midwest states to be used as fertilizer for the corn, wheat, and soybean crops. We would ship the fertilizer using DM Bowman, Inc., a trucking company based out of Hagerstown, Maryland. As a longer solution to the problem, we would create a power plant that runs off the chicken waste and wood shaping, similar to ones in the UK. An estimated timeline for this solution would be to sell the fertilizer to the West for about 5 years while the plant is under construction. With the amount of animals in the Delmarva area, it's not possible for the local farmers to use all the waste that is created. The best solution is to ship it out to much larger area, i.e. the Midwest, where it will be used as fertilizer and be able to be used properly and efficiently. The technology involved would include the trucks that would be used to ship the waste, along with a plant that would be used to create the pellets. A $12 million plant is currently being built in Delaware that would create pellets from chicken waste. Locally, a plan is endorsed but not currently in production for a 40-megawatt power plant that burns this fuel source. The proposed power plant would use 300,000 tons of waste a year. Until it is built, we will ship this amount to the Midwestern states. After the plant is built, we will reroute the trucks to the local power plant and power it with this source. The Pocomoke River is impaired with nitrogen, phosphorus, E. coli, and fecal coliform bacteria. Ehrlich, in 2003, gathered an advisory panel to examine the poultry industry and its environmental effects. Environmental Protection Agency has numerous laws that govern and regulate the pollution and toxins going into the waterways. The going rate for a ton of fertilizer is $250, so selling 300,000 tons to the Midwest to the local farmers would generate over $7.5 million. The rate for energy is roughly 7.73 cents per kilowatt hour. With the 40 megawatt power plant, we would reserve 2 megawatts to power the plant. The area would stand to sell 38 megawatts hours, which comes to roughly $3,000 per megawatt hour. Our schedule is approximately 5 years to have the power plant construction. Until then, we would ship the waste to the Midwest farmers. Our short and long-term solutions to this environmental problem will help create jobs and keep our bay healthier.